It's been 3 months since I last did a construction update vlog here on the Branthwaite Productions YouTube channel. Now in January I went back to Great Yarmouth Waterways to see if there was any work progressing in the waterway. So I've actually took some photographs of the actual construction taking place. There's actually been more going on throughout the week, so I'm actually going to be sharing some photographs of what have actually been taken and what's actually been going on, any new features that have been put in the waterways, and that's what I'm going to be talking to you about right now. So for this first image, you can see here there's actually some gardening that's been taking place. There's actually some, there's planting going in there as well. There's some plumbing going in there. There's actually some new litter bins that have been going inside the boat and lake, and there's actually all the walls have actually been finished as well, which looks really nice, going back to the original way back in 1928 when it first opened. And the boat and lake should be filled up pretty soon. Now this next image I'm going to be sharing with you is some of the plants that have been placed inside the boat and lake itself. So you can see here there's actually some, there's like some palm trees going in there. There's actually like a lot of plants, and you can see also, I've also been talking about the walls as well, so you can see there's actually some other walls that have actually been going in. There's actually a little bench I can see in the background as well, which I can see, and they've also done some other bushes on the sides as well, you can see in the images. And you can also see that one of the steps has actually been refurbished as well, actually near the exit of the waterways, and you can see here it looks really good so far with the plants, and I really think the original plant is going to look much better than it did for the past few years, to be honest. And I think the boat and lake is going to be absolutely beautiful when it actually comes to the summertime and I cannot wait to go back down there. And I have got a vlog planned when it opens in the actual summer itself, so make sure you stay tuned for the vlog. And I'm going to talk about the next image. Now this next image I'm going to be talking to you about, this is something that I really like, because in this image you can see here there's actually some flower beds that have been built. There's also the stone pattern built in the gardens as well. And you can also see there's actually some original benches that have actually gone back in. You can see in the image below, you can see the patterns of the stones really well, and it actually reminds me of the original pattern that they had way back in 1928. You can also see some signs of plants going in. They've done the flower beds, they tidied them up, and there's also like, there's different colour stones like red, blue, yellow, just to make it colourful in the summer, and that it looks really good, to be honest. And it's going to be nice sitting back in the boat and lake, especially with the lake being filled up with the water in it, and especially the boats going around again and that. And I cannot wait to see, more new generations enjoying the waterways and the boating lake. And to be honest, I think this project they've been doing so far has gone really successful, because we had that really long hot summer last year and it was the best time to do it. If they did it the year before, then I don't know what it was like the year before, but we did have a few rainy days in the summer, so I think they chose the right year to do it, and that long hot summer has really paid off for the project in the waterways. So yeah, that is the little garden area I've been talking about so far. So moving on now. So this image is a little bit strange what I took, because this here is actually a wall. Now I don't know what this is going to be used for, but I can see some pipes in there, and there's actually plumb pipes. I don't know if it's going to be a plumb station or a supply station and that, and it looks really strange. So I've actually got some stones in there as well, and I don't know what it's going to be used for. I don't know if it's going to be used as something else, or could be like a little water fountain feature, I don't know, but it's going to be something going to be used. But the wall looks actually old, and I don't know if they would have knocked it down or something, but it looks like it could be used as a plumbing station, because I can tell by the actual pipes that are being used to connect, or it could be like to connect to the lake and that, with the lake being filled up or draining the lake out and that. So yeah, I think it could be a little plumbing station, but who knows, we're going to have to find out when I'll probably go back there in March or April to have a look at the final construction process taking place in the waterways and boating lake. So moving on to the next image now, this image is the old cafe. Now, I was talking to you about it a few months ago when it was still in construction, and it's actually now completely finished because I was talking about the windows going in, the roof that was going in the summer, but now there's actually a new extension added on the right hand side or the left hand side, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is in the cafe. So the cafe has now got a brand new kitchen. Now if you can't see it, it's actually the where the door is, there's a black sort of rectangular block, you can see, and that's where the kitchen is. So that's where the little door goes, and there's actually if you can't see, there's actually an oven in there as well, which I noticed when I actually was walking down there. And to be honest, I think, you know, the kitchen was quite old, so they had to, like, you know, they had to make it a little bit modern than that. So back in the summer, I remember seeing the old cupboards, the old fridges and the old freezers and that were took out. And to be honest, I think this little kitchen is going to be it's going to be quite modern. You won't be able to see it because, well, you could see it, but it's in, like, you know, a little extension area and that. So I think the cafe is going to look a little bit classic and modern at the same time. It might be modern inside and it could be classic outside, but who knows, they could even do a classic design like they did in the olden days. But, you know, the cafe is actually going to be run by a small business when it opens in, you know, like I said, in the summer and that. So the cafe is going to look absolutely beautiful again. And, you know, it was such a shame to let it rot away, and the roof getting rotted, all the actual interior getting rotted away, and such the kitchen and the cafe and that. It was quite sad to see it go, to be honest. But to be honest, it's actually quite happy to see everything going back to the way it used to be, and I cannot wait to see the Waterways cafe back in action in the summer. Right, that's it for the boating lake. Let's move on to the actual Venetian Waterways itself. So in this image below, you can see here there's actually a digger on one of the islands, and you will notice that there's actually some stones being placed in to make it colourful, and that is actually going to be used as an island again. And to be honest, those islands have never been used for ages, because what actually happened was that one of the bridges had to close because, well, the only bridge that had to close was the one that was actually leading onto the island, because unfortunately there was actually people at the time just messing around with the wildlife and that, which was a bit sad to see. Now, I think it was actually closed before I was around, to be honest, that bridge to the island. So to be honest, I hope they build a brand new bridge. It's actually going to be used again, so people can actually explore the waterways even more, so they don't have to go all the way round on one particular route. And to be honest, I think this little island is actually going to be quite nice to see again, with all the with all the stones and all the new plants going in. Like, you might be able to see a few plants going in there now. And I've also noticed there's actually some benches that have actually been going back in now. A few years ago, they were just normal benches where you would just sit down with the support behind you, and it's actually going to be like the ones you use at school for assemblies and that, so you can just see there the original benches with no support. It's just going to be, you just sit down and then just with no support and that. So yeah, it's just going to be like how it was in the olden days, to be honest. So moving on to the next image. Now this image is definitely one that I really like, because you can actually see here there's actually some landscaping going on the other side of the waterways. Now you will notice that you'll see some volunteers on site. You can see there's a digger and that, and there's actually some rocks being placed in to make way for the original landscaping. I think it looks quite nice, to be fair, with the rocks going in and that, and I think it's going to make the waterways more detailed when you probably go in there and that, and it actually looks really good seeing people in there just doing the landscape and that. I've also noticed there's some containers in there as well, right at the front, not on the other side, but actually on this side of the waterways right now. I think it was like for plants going in and that, just containers of plants and that. And I think, to be honest, I think it's going to look really good with all those rocks surrounding the area. And to be honest, I think the waterways is going to look much better than it did like the past few years. And it's actually been hard because it was actually quite dull, it was boring, there was no, no detail to look at. And to be honest, I think the waterways are going to go back to the right detail with the right elements being used for the new generations. Okay, so moving on to this image. Now this is probably one of my favourite images I took, because this is actually amazing and you're not going to believe when you see this next image. So you can see in this image, look at that. If any of you don't know what that yellow stuff is, it's actually gravel, and it's actually a gravel island. You can also see there's actually rocks there as well, there's plants, there's trees. You can see it looks absolutely beautiful with that colour, to be honest. I like the yellow colour, that fits well with the island, and you can see it looks really good. I don't know if it's going to be there temporarily, I don't know if it's going to be used for a few months, but I think it's going to be used forever, because this looks like a really good colour to use. And especially in the rain, it's actually going to turn a different colour. So I think this yellow gravel they've used, I think it looks more colourful than it was than in the original. And you can see it's just by that little roundabout where you go between the two bridges and that. So yeah, I think it really suits well with the plants and the rocks that have been put in on the on that little gravel island. And I think it looks really good, because it's actually doing more detail, it's making it more colourful, more attractive to look at, and I think it's going to look much better than it did when it was last year and the past few years of the waterways. So moving on to the final image of the waterways construction. I hope you enjoyed it so far. I've been enjoying doing all the latest construction vlogs on the channel. If you've not checked out November, make sure you check that one out. It's been about 3 months since I last did a construction update vlog, and to be honest, it was really good to watch the waterways and Boating Lake being in construction. And this is actually a one chance in a lifetime to see something being rebuilt and history being made once again. And to be honest, the heritage attractions are actually beautiful to look at, and I don't think the waterways deserves to be closed down and rot away in that, and I think it deserves to be enjoyed by lots of generations, lots of families for many years to come. Anyway, let's move on to this final image of the Great Yarmouth Waterways. So basically, right at the end of the waterways, you can see here there's actually a lot of scaffolding taking place on the big white bridge. And there's also some brand new benches that have been going on there as well. And you will notice there's actually some little holes they've been digging up on the pathway. So I don't know if it's going to be used for tying the boats around. I think the boats might be coming back to the waterways again. And I think, to be honest, I think it actually is going to be the boats going back, because there were boats all those years ago when I was a child, and to be honest, I never got to go on them, but I wish I did go on the boats. But I did actually go on the ones at the Boating Lake, but not at the actual Venetian Waterways itself. But I think it's actually been a really good process to watch, because the construction, I've learned so much about how the waterways was open, how it used to look like back in the olden days. It looks really good to be seeing what the waterways is coming along now. And to be honest, I cannot wait to go back in the summer. And to be honest, the waterways and the Boating Lake are a childhood memory for me. My family went there when they were younger, and I definitely went there when I was younger, walking down there in the summer, seeing the ducks, going on the boats and just feeding the ducks and walking around the waterways, going on the bridges. It's been so long since I actually did that, and I can't wait to do it again this year. So thank you so much for watching this construction update vlog. It has been quite a long one this time. There's been so much to talk about, and I cannot wait to go back there in the summer holidays. So thank you so much for watching this Branthwaite Productions vlog. The first vlog of 2019 this one is, so because it's actually winter, there's nothing going on yet, but I will be back down the seafront in March. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in another video on the Branthwaite Productions YouTube channel very soon. See you later everyone, bye for now.